Now, a few months ago, I came out with a video testing 8 of the straightest mid-ranges that I could find, and you guys left about 150 comments on that video telling me all the different discs that I snubbed and should have checked out. So I took your advice and I picked up 5 more straight mid-ranges to test out and do battle and see if any of them can kick the Mako 3 out of my bag. Which is a tough ask because I've really been enjoying the Mako 3, but I might end up liking one of these even more. So let's get to the discs. First up, we have the Discraft Buzzz SS. This is the brand new Tour Series version for 2026. Discraft is saying that this is a brand new blend of titanium, so I'm very excited to check this one out. And here's a cool one. We got the Thought Space Athletics Glow Pathfinder. I've never thrown the Pathfinder before, but I've heard so many good things about this disc, and the art's amazing, so had to check it out. And next up, we have a fan favorite from Discmania. That is the Innova Origin. And this is kind of an odd one. We have a Latitude 64 compass. This is an opto-plastic, but has the Saki Bomb stamp, and it is signed by two-time world champion Ricky Wysocki. Let me know down in the comments if this is sacrilegious for me to be throwing an autographed disc. But hey, maybe the autograph helps it fly even better. And finally, one that I am very curious about. This one, a lot of people wanted me to try this one out because it's a classic, and that is the Innova Roc. This is in Star Plastic. The Roc gets a reputation of being a very straight mid-range despite the flight numbers, so curious to test this one out. So guys, before we get started, let me know which of these 5 is your favorite, if you're bagging one of them, or if there's more mids I should check out, and I still haven't. But now, let's get to throwing. All right, we're gonna start here on a tee shot where we just wanna lay up at the base of this hill, which is probably like a, I don't know, 280-ish foot shot. We just wanna put these out flat and see how straight they all go. I feel like we're gonna have a decent amount of stability variation between these 5 discs, so this should tell us a lot. Let's start here with the Buzzz SS. These new Tour Series discs look so freaking nice. The swirls are intense. Also, the new blend of titanium, it's got some nice flex to it. I feel like titanium in the past sometimes is like super stiff, and to me, I feel like it's sometimes a little too slick, but not really the case here. These ones have a little bit more flex than I anticipated. It helps with the grip. Yeah, really straight. Put that on a little bit of hyzer and had a little bit of baby flip, came back at the end. I mean, that's right at the base of the hill. That's exactly what we wanted. Now let's go Thought Space Athletics Pathfinder. This is the Eric Oakley Tour Series. I think these came out a while back, but man, every single TSA disc has amazing art. If you're a TSA fan, let me know what your favorite art on a Thought Space disc is down below. Okay, put that out pretty flat. We got a little bit of drift to the right, just snuck around that tree. Put that out really low, but it is probably right next to our first shot. All right, let's try the compass. Ooh, so straight. Again, threw it a little bit low, but that's perfect. Woo, I like that a lot. All right, now let's go Origin. Now, I've thrown Origins in the past, not this specific one, but I've thrown like the Midnight Prowl 1 and 2, and Origins tend to be on the flippy side, so I'm expecting this to be more understable, so I'm gonna try to hyzer flip this one. Oh yeah, start on hyzer, and you can see that drift to the right. Again, put it out kind of low. Put them out low today. Let's get this last one a little bit higher. All right, let's go Star Roc, which, gosh, this has such an old school hand feel. It is just so different from like a modern mid-range. It's very like low profile, super flat. The Roc is not that, but I kind of love just the fact that it's kind of like a time capsule of how discs used to be designed. Okay, straight, yeah, it's straight. Yeah, sweet. You never really know with Rocs. I feel like there's a big variety of Roc stabilities out there, which comes with the territory being an Innova disc that, you know, there's probably been thousands of runs of Rocs over the decades that it's been around. So yeah, Origin drifted off to the right, but we got Roc, Compass, Buzzz SS, Pathfinder in a pretty tight spread here. All right, downhill hole here. We're just blasting them because Off of this tee pad, you want a lot of distance, but you also want to keep it in the fairway, which is why I like going mid on these shots, starting with TSA Pathfinder. Love it. Yeah, that holds the line so well. I put that on a little bit of hyzer with the expectation that it might flip up. It wanted to right at the start, but just kind of held. I like that a lot. All right, let's go compass. Yeah, same. I mean, that and the Pathfinder are so similar, and they landed right next to each other in a puddle. Might have lost the signature on that one. All right, let's go with the one that we know is gonna flip. Let's go Origin. Gonna have to put this one out on hyzer. Keep it a little bit further left. I kind of pulled that compass to the right. We can't do that with the Origin or else we're in big trouble. Yeah, hyzer flip to flat, keeps turning right. That's a beauty, actually. You see how you can get that late turn by starting on hyzer, flipping up and just riding straight, and then you see it break right? That's hard to find in a disc. I'm already resonating with that one super well. Let's go to the other end of the spectrum, Star Roc. Yeah, put that one out flat and it's got overstability. Now let's go Buzzz SS. I'm not sure how much we're gonna see the -2 turn. I had a Buzzz SS many years ago and it was just a really straight flyer, not a ton of turn on it. So not sure if that's the case here or not. Put it on hyzer, flipping up, flipping up. Ooh, yeah, that's that turn kicking in. Oh, that was a beauty. Yeah, look at this grouping. This is wild, actually, between compass, Pathfinder, Roc, Buzzz SS, Origin, feeling very left out. All right, let's go back to throwing at a basket, because I like having something really obvious to throw at. And chance at an ace run here. This is a 233-foot par 3. It's a little bit of a tunnel shot. Basket is on a mound out there, so you do have to keep the height up because you're not going to be guaranteed that skip to the basket. Start with Buzzz SS. This is a muddy freaking mess right now. I guess that means I'm throwing from the left side of the tee pad today. Nice flip, look at that. Come on back for me. That's a great shot. Just a little wide right of the basket. I like that I can start that out on some hyzer and have it drift to the right, but nowhere near the amount of turn as like the Origin, which is just straight up like a -2 turn disc, despite the numbers. Anyways, actually let's go Origin, since I'm in the hyzer flip mood. Yeah, look at all that turn, flip to flat. That's gonna be parked right underneath the cage. Also, if you're liking any of these discs, you can find pretty much all of them at this channel sponsor, Disc Golf Deals USA. You can use my affiliate link in the description below to get 10% off your entire order. Whatever you buy, whether you buy one disc or a whole bunch of discs, you get 10% off and you support the channel. Pretty sick. Anyways, let's go Pathfinder. Probably have to put this out a little bit flatter than those other ones. Love it. Oh, go in. Go in! Oh! I was dragging it to the right. Like, I released that one pretty flat, but to the left, and it just was drifting to the right. Dang, dang, dang. Okay, that was our closest one yet. I'm convinced this compass has the exact same flight as that Pathfinder, so let's go compass, try to make the correction. Also, I feel like my snap is great today. Okay, I put that one out a little bit of hyzer. That was just a very different throw. It was solid. It was solid. I knew that was going to be in front of the basket, though. And then we have the, oh boy, the Roc. All right, this one, ain't no hyzer flips here. This is going to have to be very flat. Oh, I love it. Go in, go in, go in. Oh, what? No. That phased through the basket. That was stolen from me. No. I mean, that I was 100% certain that was in the chains. Whew. Okay, the Roc. I'm coming around to it. All right, let's take a minute and talk hand feels, because I feel like we have 3 distinct archetypes of hand feels among our 5 discs. First, we have what is probably what I would describe as the most standard wing shape, where you have a very clear concave wing here with that just like slight rounded angle into the disc. This is the Pathfinder and the compass. You can see they're both pretty flat. I mean, the profiles are so similar, and no surprise, they fly very similarly. Then we have this other shape, and it's no surprise that the Origin and the Buzzz SS are definitely a little more understable than Compass and Pathfinder, because these also are shaped very similarly to one another, where you still have slight concave geometry to the bottom rim here, but it's mostly flat. Definitely less concave than the other two that I just looked at. Again, very flat tops. These ones, because it's flatter, these ones just feel more rounded as far as hand feel goes. Very low profile. I like the feel of these two the most out of these 5 discs. But then go to the other end of the spectrum. Instead of understable, if we go overstable, this is what we got for the Roc. Again, like I mentioned earlier, you got the big bead on the bottom. You got the concave wing. When I mentioned I feel like this has an old school hand feel, what I really meant was you have this really high shoulder. You can see this Roc is definitely not flat. You have this dome across the middle. It really peaks right around here though. And I feel like that's one of the defining features of the Roc and what I would describe as that old school hand feel. Nowadays, I feel like people are always talking about wanting something really low profile and flat and slim, but the Roc's an OG. It flies in the face of that. It says, I don't care. Witness me and my shoulder. All right, now we got a 237-foot par 3 basket straight away, but you can't hang it out at all to the right because there is this guardian tree right here. There's another tree right on the right side of the basket. You got this tree over here. You just can't really go to the right. You got to either go straight at it or to the left with a forehand or just an understable backhand. Let's go Origin. I think I'm going to just try hyzer flip, mostly straight at it. Oh, nope. I mean, it went hyzer flip to flat and straight, but I need to put that one a little bit tighter to the basket. I thought that might flip a little bit more. Now let's go Buzzz SS. This one, not as much hyzer. Love it. Go in the basket. Go, 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 go. Oh, yeah. That's awesome. That is right outside bullseye. You can see that turn, that drift to the right on that Buzzz SS I really like. Let's go Pathfinder. Yeah, I didn't give it the height, but it's going to be parked. It's going to be literally right underneath the basket. And let's go Compass. Love it. Is that the one? Is that the one? No. Wow. Okay. Okay. Really? That wasn't in the basket? All right. All right. Roc, this is going to be interesting. I'm probably going to have to go a little bit of anhyzer because these other ones I could get away with flat and kind of just let it do its thing, drift a little bit. Roc, not the case. Let's go anhyzer flex. I put it out low, but that's going to be parked. So you can see it come out of the anhyzer. That was a lot more overstable. See, when people recommend me the Roc for my straight mid-range, I think what they really mean is like their KC Pro Roc that they've been bagging for like a year, which I think is kind of like the quintessential, you know, Roc stereotype. So that makes sense. Everyone knows an old head with like 10 base plastic Innova Rocs in their bag. Yep, we got parked for the Roc right here. We got parked for the Pathfinder right here. Buzzz SS, it's not in bullseye, but by golly, close enough. All right, now we have a tee shot where if we go to the left, we are potentially in the river, so we want to keep these to the right. So this is a hole where we do want some turn, or at least we want to be able to force it over to the right, which is definitely going to favor a couple of these more so than others. Let's start with the Pathfinder. Just going to try to put this out really flat. It's so straight. I love it. Yeah, coming back a little bit at the end. It's a nice disc. That, I don't want to say it's my favorite out of all these, but it's up there. And let's go Compass. Put that one out low. Yeah, just line drive. If I put that one out higher, that would have been nicer. Now let's go Origin to fulfill all of our flippy needs. Yeah, it's going to drift to the right. That is a beautiful shot. That flies so nice. All right, this is where we really get to test the understability of the Buzzz SS because I want to put this out kind of hard. If I put it out flat, I think we'll get enough turn. Oh, I put that one out on not the angle I wanted. That was probably a little bit of anhyzer. So that just shot to the right. Put this in a good spot still, honestly, but just not what I meant to do. A little bit of anhyzer. Oh, I put that nose up and high, and you can see The overstability is going to take advantage of that. All right, let me tell you what I like and don't like about our 5 discs today. But before I do, if you've enjoyed this video thus far, I'd appreciate if you consider liking and subscribing. We're on our way to 4,000 subscribers. We are so freaking close, so if you haven't joined the Flying Fajita family yet, today's the day to do so. Anyways, let's go one by one. Buzzz SS I like a lot. I'd say it has more like a negative 1.5 turn because it's more turn than like the Pathfinder and the Compass, but also not as much turn as like the Origin. Like this will flip, but it's not like a true turnover disc in my mind. Straight flyer with some turn, love it. Love the hand feel, very low profile, flat. The rim is very rounded, which I find very comfortable. So Buzzz SS, I'm giving a lot of praise to that disc. Then we got the Roc. This is a weird one. Hand feel wise, I'm just not a big fan. The high shoulder just really does not do it for me. The idea of cycling Rocs is very attractive to me, right? But despite that, there are definitely other mid-ranges that I just like the feel of better. Not to mention, this is our most overstable one by far, which doesn't really fit the criteria. Again, if this was base plastic, that would be a different story, but you know, we're testing premium plastic discs, so that's just how it goes. Next, we have the Origin. I love this disc. Again, the hand feel very similar to the Buzzz SS, which I like. That's a point in its favor. Also very similar to the Mako 3 hand feel, but the Mako 3 is just a little more convex in the bottom of the rim, whereas the Origin and the Buzzz SS are just a little tiny bit concave, so it moves in that opposite direction. I love this disc, but it's just too understable for the straight shot that I'm looking for. So I could see myself bagging this, just not in that slot that this video is about. And then we have the Thought Space Athletics Pathfinder. I would say this is just straight up the straightest disc that I tried today. Minimal turn, minimal fade, no complaints. And then we have the Compass. The Compass has just like a tiny bit of fade. It's so close to the Pathfinder, but I would say just like a tick more overstable. Not quite as good for the hyzer flip shot, which is kind of my bread and butter. So while I like both of these discs, they're not my favorites. Of these 5, my favorite is definitely the Buzzz SS. Now, will it kick out the Mako 3? I gotta do more testing, right? That's a tough decision to make on my first day throwing this Buzzz SS. So right now I would say probably not, probably sticking to the Mako 3, but that's one that I will have to put more thought into on a later date. Anyways, guys, again, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. You can also follow me on Instagram at Flying Fajita Disc Golf. I've been posting a ton more content on Instagram lately, and I plan to more and more as the summer rolls in. You can also follow me on UDisc community at Flying Fajita. And as always, guys, I love you. Take care, and I will see you next time.